All right, thank you very much, Madam Clerk, and good afternoon, everyone. Nice to see some folks here. Council did meet today here on June 22nd. We met at about 3 o'clock today for a brief in-camera session. Then we had a recess, and now Council has returned for a little bit after 5:30 p.m. So this is our regular Council meeting for the 22nd of June, as I said. And all of Council are present, as well as many of our staff, to help us with some of the content of the meeting today. At this time, I'd like to begin our meeting by recognizing the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples of Canada as traditional stewards and caretaker of the land. And we acknowledge that Clearview Township is located within the boundaries of Treaty 18, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Tianatati, Wendat, and is the home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people as part of the intricate nationhood that reaches across Turtle Island. At this time of truth and reconciliation, we welcome the opportunity to work together towards new understandings and new relationships and ask the Creator for guidance in all that we do. Council, it's always my pleasure to say the land acknowledgement, particularly just after National Indigenous Day that was held this weekend. Council, we're going to move on in our agenda. Item 1 was our discussion about in-camera. And so now we're going to move to item number 2 on our Council agenda, which is the approval of the agenda. So recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby approve the agenda dated June 22nd, 2026 as presented. Mr. Walker, thank you. And Councillor Dineen, thank you. Any questions on today's agenda? Members of Council, seeing none, all in favor? And that carries unanimous. Thank you. At this point, we have the declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations today? Mr. MacArthur.
Yeah, I've interest in 10.3.4 as I've been employed by the company for 30 years less a week.
Well, thank you for your acknowledgement of your declaration, and congratulations on that. Okay, we'll look for that when we get to that point in the agenda. Thank you very much. Any others from Council? Seeing none, if anything comes up during the meeting, we'll deal with it right away. Council, at this time, we'll move to public participation period. I look to the audience if there's any member from the public who wants to come forward. I don't think so. All right, so I will look to our Deputy Clerk. I think you can confirm for me, Emma, that we do have an electronic participation. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Worship. You have one electronic participation question printed in front of you.
Yes, thank you. This has been distributed to all members of Council, as well as several members of the staff to obtain the information that we need to help answer this question. Council, this public participation comes from Mr. Dave Witzka. The question is, seeing as the lowest bidder for the tourism roof replacement is now higher than the second lowest bidder due to extras, can you post it on the big screen for comparative figures of both contractors so taxpayers can do their own interpretation of the costs? And if not, why not? So my direct question to Mr. Witzka will be, no, we will not be using the big screen for that type of purpose during public participation period. That is not the use of it. And further, if you're looking for information like that, I encourage you to reach out to the staff responsible for this. Second thing I'd like to point out is you make a statement about the second lowest bidder due to extras. It would actually be incorrect. I've consulted with the Recreation Department and our clerk, and I've discovered that we are still holding at the lowest bidder, as the number is still below that. So if I can, I'm not sure if I have this fully accurate, so maybe I'll ask Amanda Murray, who's our manager of recreation. Amanda, if you could just help me just qualify what that value is, if there's a concern there. Amanda?
Thank you very much, Mayor Measures. So the actual contract amount originally awarded was $55,932 plus HST. As outlined in my council report, the additional items which will be discussed is estimated at about $12,000. So thus, still under the second lowest bid, which was originally listed at $71,000. There were 12 original tenders introduced for the tourism roof project. Most of them ranged between $71,000 and $110,000. So still with the additional works, should council proceed with them, would still be less than the next available bid.
Thank you very much, Ms. Murray. Members of council, that is the end of our questions for public participation and electronic participation. I encourage the public to consider using our web portal to ask their questions, or of course, you're always welcome to come to the chambers and we can ask them right here at our podium. So council, at this time, we'll move on in our agenda to our next item, which would be item number 5, and that would be delegations and presentations. We have a very interesting delegation today. As council knows, and perhaps the public might be aware, the municipality must go through audited statements every year for our financial status. And at this time, we have the 2024 audited financial statements, and they've been put together by Baker Tilly SGB LLP, and their representative is a partner, Jay Anstey, and Jay is here with us. Jay, please come to the microphone, and I know you have a few things you'd like to discuss with us as well as to present. So thank you for joining us here, and thank you for the work you've done to get to this point on our financial statements. Nice to have you here, Jay.
Great, thank you, Your Worship. It's nice to be here tonight, members of council, to present the 2024 audited financial statement. While we are presenting 2024, management is working on closing off the 2025 year-end books, and we do hope to be back here shortly to be presenting the 2025 financial statements. But this is important for us to present to council the 2024 results to officially accept approval of the financial statements. So the first and most important part is that the financial statements presented tonight do present fairly in all material respects the financial position and results of the township for the 2024 financial year, and they're prepared in accordance with Canadian public sector accounting standards. We have in front of us the operating results with an annual surplus for the year of $8.5 million. And this can be broken down into two sections. First, the net revenues of $1.64 million shows the operating surplus for the year. And this is your standard operating revenues, such as taxation, user charges collected via water rates and recreation facilities, some government grants, and then a strong investment income for the year. And this is used to fund the standard operations, the salaries of the staff, the contracts the municipality enters into for the year of $31 million, for the net operating surplus of $1.64 million. The surplus is mainly related to the strong investment income above budget, and it is a trend for there to be small surpluses or deficit as balances are carried forward and spent year over year. So this is just a timing of use type of surplus. The second surplus that we look at, or is from the capital, or second area of surplus, is from capital revenues, totaling $6.8 million. And these are from government grants, the use of obligatory reserve funds, and contributed tangible capital assets. This $6.8 million is revenue specifically for the acquisition of tangible capital assets. When we look at the overall additions for the year of $16.8 million, this does show that there weren't sufficient capital revenues for the year to fund the capital asset acquisitions, but we will see that they were funded through internal development charge borrowing and spending from reserves accumulated in prior years. You'll also see this in the cash and investment decrease, as it has been used to fund the infrastructure acquisitions. Looking at the overall financial position on the statement of financial position for the year, the accumulated surplus of the municipality at the end of 2024 was $169.4 million. This is made up mainly of tangible capital assets, which has a balance of $168.5 million. The majority of accumulated surplus that the town owns has been invested into the assets, the bridges, roads, buildings, machinery and equipment that the municipality owns. Net financial assets for the year are $0.8 million, a decrease of $6.3 million, and again is reflected in the investment in capital infrastructure for the year. In terms of capital infrastructure, there was $19.9 million of tangible capital asset additions during the year, and this is the $16.8 million I referenced earlier, as well as $3 million of assumed tangible capital assets from developers. Significant investment in the year was in roads, water and wastewater, and various fleet and equipment. This includes Phillips Street and Sunnydale Street, the Collingwood Street Bridge, Riverside Drive reconstruction, the Sunnydale Hall renovation, equipment such as a grader, pumper truck, a trackless sidewalk tractor, ice resurfacer, and more equipment. Again, this is a significant amount of capital spending during the 2024 year. That is the town reinvesting in its own infrastructure. Looking at cash flow and liquidity, overall the cash balance is $8.4 million, a net decrease of $25.4 million. Again, this is the use of cash for the investment in tangible capital assets. Looking at debt, the long-term liabilities balance at the end of 2024 was $14.6 million. This is down $1 million from standard annual repayment of long-term debt, and as there was no new debt assumed throughout the 2024 year. The debt payments do remain within provincial limits, with overall $1.5 million spending on debt, principal repayments, and interest, compared to a limit of $5.4 million, so well within the provincial limits that are set. There is a note to the financial statement that does note subsequent events that are important to understand, and there has been an additional $38 million of new loan and credit facilities that have been entered into that are available for use by the municipality that's subsequent to year end, but have not all been drawn on. This is important as the increased debt servicing and capital commitments will continue into the future. As noted, two other areas that are important to understand are obligatory reserve funds and reserve funds. Both were used to fund capital infrastructure during the year. The ending balance of obligatory reserve funds was $11 million at the end of 2024, and this does not include $5.8 million of overdrawn development charges, meaning that the municipality has borrowed from its own available obligatory reserve funds to finance these projects. Overall reserves ending balance is also $7.2 million, and again, a net decrease of $2 million for the use of capital infrastructure. So in summary, a significant portion of investment into tangible capital assets for infrastructure, and that explains the decreases in the overall financial assets of the year. Those are the financial results I wanted to go over. From an audit perspective, I do want to thank Treasurer McDonald and her finance team for working through the audit with us. It is quite an extensive process to get through, and we do thank them for all of their work to get to where we are today to present these financial statements. And I'll turn it back over to you, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. And yes, I also want to thank the Treasury Department. Our Treasurer McDonald, Kelly's been leading this team now for a couple of years and doing a great job, and we really appreciate all the effort that she has done, along with all the members of her team. And so we appreciate you being here. Kelly, do you have anything you want to add to, after you saw the audited statements? I'm sure you took a good breath and realized that it was a pretty good report. Is there anything you'd like to add to Jay's comments about some of the items he brought up?
No, thank you, Worship. I think Jay did a pretty good job at explaining where the differences are and that we are reinvesting in our capital.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go to the floor of our council and see if there's any members from council have any questions to you. Mr. Anstey, is there any questions from our councillors? Paul? No? Yes? Paul has something he wants to ask, I'm sure.
Jay, I always like to, we'll say, nail you a bit on our debt servicing capability. I see our debt has gone up a little bit. We're still in good shape. Comment on that, please.
Yes, through Your Worship. Yes, as I mentioned, that you're well within the repayment limits, and that is important. It's based on repayment, so the terms of the debt that are entered into are an important factor of the limits. So longer terms allow you to have more debt borrowing capacity.
I like to see, I mean, we got a lot of items for specific projects, but the total debt seems to be very manageable, and I want, we're watching, as a council, I think we all can say we're watching it, so thank you.
Thank you. I concur with the Deputy Mayor. We are keeping an eye on that. Is there any other questions from our members at this time? All right. Jay, perhaps you could just outline for me what's your comment on our DC's overdrawn statement that you mentioned? Is there anything that flags for you that there's a concern there. I do know we have growth that's basically pending, and we're investing in our water system and et cetera, and as all over the township, we have investments. So I'm just concerned if you feel, as an auditor, that there's anything that's outstanding on there.
No, Your Worship. It is common to have dips in the reserves because it is I'll call it a chicken and egg. You have to have the development spending to have the infrastructure there in order for growth to happen. So this is seen as kind of that, put the infrastructure in place so that we can have more future development. So this is a common practice. Overall, development charges are still in a positive. There are development charges available for other use. So the municipality is still in good shape there. And then from there, it really depends on the timing of future building when that happens to replenish those reserves, but no current concerns.
Okay. Can you comment on anything to do with our capital reserves? We have some capital projects and some, building reserves that, could be pending and could be expanded upon. Is there something that council should be looking at as far as budgeting and future budgets for any of our capital investments, as in buildings or replacements of these? Is there anything in there that is a concern to you, that either the account is too low or the account is not being invested properly? Is there anything that flags for you?
I don't think I could comment on the overall balance. It's with looking at the capital asset plan and ensuring that there is enough there for future development. There is a overdrawn balance in the water wastewater reserves at the current time. So again, is that spending to be able to fund future development? It is important to have that measured, but I would defer that to Treasurer McDonald and her team to answer.
Sure. It is something that I'd like to talk with senior management about the future, and that is just making sure that we stay on top of the fact that we need to have reserves continue to be built for, frankly, all of our buildings. I mean, we've done a great job as a council and a community, both this council and previous, to build some pretty good structures. Our most recent one, of course, is the New Lowell, Joint Operations Center for the Public Works and Fire. Terrific building. We're entering into a program to pay that back. Some of that came from DCs, et cetera. I'm just thinking about the, how we as a council and a community face looking at some of the older buildings yet that we still have to put some money aside for. For instance, our recreational facilities, both of our arenas, while they're in excellent shape today, are starting to age, and we may have to look at those type of long-term future investments. So is there any thought that you might have on that, for any advice you can give to council as we move forward?
I think my comment this is a common issue that all municipalities are facing, and we're seeing it in all different types of infrastructure, and whether that is aging buildings, road infrastructure, or water, wastewater has been a very common one among municipalities. And then it's drawing on the available financing options that are out there, and that is a combination of current taxation, debt, reserves, and obligatory reserve funds. So drawing on all of those and making sure that that is in place. The capital, again, I'll refer to the capital asset management plan that is looking to outline these and ensure that they're sufficiently funded. It is going to be a challenge for all municipalities to continue to stay on top of this, as you know. I say a $7 million reserve fund balance, and in today's costs, that can go very quickly. So it depends on what is forthcoming.
Thank you very much. The last question I'll ask is, unless there's anything else from council, the process of engaging through this building and having some of your staff come and attend, and it goes well. I mean, you're able to ask questions, and the staff and treasury are able to respond to you in a timely manner, and getting through the audit process is pretty painless, just time consuming and detail oriented. Is that right?
Yes, I do have to say that the staff are very welcoming. All the questions that we ask are answered, and there's some complexities, and there are estimates that we have to go through, and we work with management very closely on those. They call on us to advise on them, so the relationship is great. Again, just some of it is timing due to, like I say, complexities, and it can be a challenging process to get through, but we do thank staff for getting through it with us.
Great. So that brings me to thank our staff, both in the Treasury Department, the Clerk's Office, frankly, every department, for their patience in having auditors here in the building. And I know we've had to give up our boardrooms a couple times to let them have space, because we don't have unlimited space in this building, that's for sure. So we're happy to work with your staff. So thank you very much, and I appreciate you bringing forward these reports. Look forward to seeing the 2025, and next week? Is when a couple weeks from now?
Let's aim for early fall,
teasing.
Your Worship.
I'm teasing. Well, thanks very much, Jay. Jay, we have a recommendation here, and so if you just want to stand by, I'm going to go to the recommendation. It does come as a report from our treasurer, so I'll leave her the opportunity to speak to it. But Council, in front of you is the report FIN 009-2026. It's the 2024 audited financial statements. The recommendation says, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report FIN 009-2026. It is the 2024 audited financial statements dated June the 22nd, 2026. And item 1, that Council approve the Township's 2024 audited financial statements prepared by Baker Tilly SGB LLP as presented. Moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Deneen. Thank you very much, Councillor. Are there any questions from Council? Anything, Kelly, you want to finish with? You comfortable?
No, thank you, Worship. I think we are good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Celine, as well. Oh, Mr. Beelan, thank you. I'm giving everybody an opportunity. This is a big one, you know.
Thank you, Your Worship. On page 17, it lists the payments for long-term liabilities, and they're going down. I'm assuming that's because we paid off some loans. Is there a list of when loans are over with and stuff that we can find somewhere, or how do I access that?
Kelly?
Through Your Worship to Councillor Beelan, it is actually in the budget package. It'll have a listing of the loans that are outstanding and projected, and
when
it should have an expiry date on them as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go back to the old budget package. All right. Thank you for that good question. Council, you've got a motion in front of you. Is there anything further? I will call the motion. All those in favor? And that carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate the work you're doing, and we look forward to seeing you again. All the best. And thank you for coming out tonight to help us with this. Council, going to move on in our agenda. Item number 6 is our public meetings, and I believe there are no public meetings tonight. And yet we do have a Wednesday night public meeting. Is that right, Deputy Mayor? I think we do. Yes, we do. That's right. Okay, so Wednesday, we'll have planning public meeting. Very good. That's Wednesday. Now we have the approval of our council meeting minutes. Recommendation be it resolved, Council of the Township of Clearview hereby approve the minutes of the May 27, 2026 planning public meeting and the June 1st, 2026 council meeting as presented. Mr. Beelan, thank you. And Mr. MacArthur, thank you. Any questions on these minutes from council? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Item number 8 is our correspondence. First item is our closed session report. I do have a small report to bring forward. We do have one recommendation that'll need a vote on it. The facility lease agreement regarding 7308 Highway 26. Recommendation, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby directs staff to act in accordance with the direction provided in closed session regarding the facility lease agreement at 7308 Highway 26. Before I call for a motion, I'd like to go to Councillor Walker. Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Your Worship. I forgot that I was coming forward, and I have a conflict as I have a family member that is an employee of Belmont.
Excellent. Thank you very much for acknowledging that. I'm sure the clerk will provide you with the appropriate forms, and we'll get that. You can withdraw from the table for now. And members of council, I'll look for a mover and seconder. Mr. Broderick, is there a seconder? Mr. MacArthur, thank you. Any questions on this direction to staff? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that carries. Thank you. Mr. Walker, you're welcome back. And I just want to itemize, I don't need a resolution on it, I just want to itemize that we did discuss the 2024 audited financial statements in camera, and that item was then on the agenda just moments ago. So there you go. Okay, council, moving on in our correspondence items, county release. Simcoe County Archive celebrates the 60th anniversary. I got to tell you, that's a great spot. I was in there, and it was a very interesting building. Very interesting building, and the technology that's in there to protect the archives, it's quite remarkable. If you get an opportunity to take a tour or see the place, or if you have any archives that you want to review, you can make an appointment with them and talk to them at the county. It's a great spot. Congratulations on 60 years. The NVCA media release, the Healthy Waters Project, keep more than 2,000 tons of soil in the land each year. Do you want to speak to that? Please do.
Thank you, Your Worship. If you see in the report, there's one picture actually that was taken last year in the Crothers Park in Avening. As most of you are aware, there was a bit of a situation there over the winter where we had a blowout. And, but they're actually in the midst of starting the project to fix what happened because of the flooding this spring. And I'm participating, getting a few of our local businesses to, we'll say donate, and our council, or our township as well, to help with the rebuilding, as it is a park within our own community. So we're working on it, and just sort of, if people see what they see on that picture, it's a little different right now. Let's just put it that way. So anyways, but they also had a media release on this past weekend on Friday about the number of trees they planted, and I forget what the number was, but it's phenomenal over the last 10 years what the NVCA has planted. So anyways, thank you.
Thank you. That's good. The work continues.
And I will say it later, Your Worship, I will be at NVCA on Friday, and so if there's any questions, please see me about it.
Excellent. Perfect. All right, Council. Council, with your indulgence, I'm going to move to item 8.5 next, and then I'll go back to 8.4. 8.5 is the Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit release. There is a concern about Legionella and cooling towers. I guess they've got a very interesting review of an unfortunate incident happened up in Aurelia some years ago, and they've got a very good report. I encourage you to take a look at it, and perhaps even members of the public, if their businesses or facilities that they know of operate cooling towers. This is vital information. So if there's any questions on that, please go ahead and take a look at their website. Council, I'm going to move to item number 8.4. It is a lengthy resolution. Before I read the resolution, I just want to acknowledge that a neighbor of ours, which is, the neighbor is New Tecumseh, the town of New Tecumseh, led by Mayor Richard Norcross, established the Simcoe County Auto Mayors Group. And the Auto Mayors Group, we've met a few times. I've done a couple of Zoom meetings, 1 or 2 in-person meetings. But the point of the whole strategy is to discuss how we can continue to keep the automotive industry here in Simcoe County and frankly across Canada, how to keep it a viable activity. Clearview is a member of this organization simply because we actually have a lot of employees of Honda and Honda-related businesses that live in our community. And so it was identified by the Honda Group that we are one of those communities that has a significant number of employees who are connected to Honda. Like I said, either directly to the company or directly to a supplier. So housing is a critical point and part of this. Mayor Norcross and his staff put together a very good program, and I hope you've had a chance to read this. I'm going to read it out loud. But the Canada North Vehicles Initiative is really a great idea to clearly identify vehicles that are made here in Canada, as well as vehicles and vehicle parts that are manufactured in Canada, and gives an opportunity to acknowledge, recognize the workers that work in all of these type of industries. And so it's a good strategy. It was received very positively at the federal government. We're hoping to have this moved right across the country. The key here is, of course, that we recognize it as a Simcoe County initiative, and so with your indulgence, I'd like to read this and ask for your support. I'll look for a mover and seconder when I'm finished. It's lengthy. Give me a moment. The recommendation says, whereas the automotive sector is a foundational industry in the town of New Tecumseh and Simcoe County, with over 40 years of investment and employment support by major manufacturers, including Honda Canada Manufacturing. And whereas the Canadian automotive industry is facing increased pressures due to evolving global trade dynamics, tariffs, and market uncertainty, creating a need for greater economic resilience and diversification. And whereas Canada's auto sector remains highly concentrated within North American export markets, increasing vulnerability to external trade pressures. And whereas there is currently no unified national identity or branding that distinguishes Canada-built vehicles in domestic or international markets, limiting awareness and competitive positioning. And whereas the town of New Tecumseh is the founding municipality of the Canada North Vehicle Initiative, which has been advanced in collaboration with the Simcoe County Auto Mayors to create a unified national branding and market position effort for Canadian-built vehicles. And whereas the Canada North Vehicles Initiative proposed the creation of a recognized symbol for Canadian-made vehicles to promote domestic awareness, support export diversification, and strengthen Canada's global automotive identity. And whereas the town of New Tecumseh, through the Simcoe County Auto Mayors, has formally advocated to the federal government for structural improvements to the federal auto strategy, including the inclusion of the Canada North Vehicles Initiative. And whereas the Government of Canada, through the Prime Minister's office, has acknowledged this advocacy and indicated its intention to continue dialogue on strengthening Canada's automotive sector. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby, 1, formally endorse the Canada North Vehicles Initiative as a strategic effort to strengthen the resilience, competitiveness, and global positioning of Canada's automotive sector. Item 2, support the development and promotion of a unified Canada North Vehicles identity, including the use of recognized symbol for Canada-built vehicles in both domestic and international markets. Item 3, that Council direct staff to continue to lead and collaborate with municipal partners, industry stakeholders, and other orders of government to advance the Canada North Vehicles Initiative and identify opportunities for implementation and advocacy. And item 4, that Council requests that the Government of Canada formally consider and integrate the Canada North Initiative into its broader federal auto strategy to support export diversification, industry competitiveness, and domestic awareness. And item 5, the Council direct that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Right Honourable Prime Minister of Canada, the Minister of Industry, the Minister of Transport, the Minister of Environment and Climate Change, the Premier of Ontario, and Simcoe Grey MPP Brian Saunderson. That's the resolution. Council, I'd ask for a mover and seconder on the floor. Mr. Broderick, Mr. Walker, please. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate that. Do you have any questions to this lengthy resolution? Perhaps I can help you with it, or have you seen the logo? It's a pretty impressive logo, I think. By the way, it will be produced in both official languages. It's currently, the one that we have is in the English version, but there will be a French version as well. So, do you have a question? Yes, go ahead.
I'm just wondering, should we be including our local MPs be copied in this, or?
Sure. Why don't we do that? That's a good amendment. Add the MP, Terry Dowdle, to this, please. That would be excellent.
Is he the only one in this auto mayor's territory?
I think he would be, but I think it would be really good for him to have a copy of it. I'm sure he has a copy of this, but excellent point. Thank you. We'll include Terry Dowdle in that. Members of council, anything further? No questions? Thank you very much, council. We have a mover and seconder. I am pleased to be able to call the motion. All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. And Madam Clerk, when we forward this, can you itemize that it was a unanimous decision? Thank you very much. Right on. Okay, council, moving on. I get an opportunity to take another drink of water because I've done a bit of talking right there, because I'm going to move on to ward reports, and I'm going to ask Mr. Broderick to kick us off with ward reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. June 9th, attended the Clearview Chamber of Commerce Executive Meeting. On the 10th, attended the Clearview Hall of Fame Awards dinner at the Evening Hall. It was quite an event. June the 13th, attended the 17th Annual Farms for Change fundraiser event at the new farm. And the 17th, the Priority Council meeting. That is it.
Thank you very much. And thank you for reminding me about the Hall of Fame dinner. Terrific event. Really, really pleased. Go ahead, Councillor MacArthur.
Thank you, Your Worship. So it's been a busy 3 weeks. So on the 6th, we had Trail Tunes, put an appearance there in Kinsman Park. And also that afternoon, I attended the 20th anniversary of Grandmother's Garden by the log cabin in Creemore there. So they were celebrating how long that had been going on and updating the gardens there. On the 10th was the Hall of Fame Awards, as been mentioned. Also had Committee of Adjustment. On the 17th, a priority meeting, and also 17th attended the Creemore Library Reading Series. Great to see all the kids in that running around enjoying good food and exercise and all that stuff. On the 18th, the Creemore Nursing Home had their annual staff event with foods from around the world, from the different nations that the employees come from. So that was after they scrambled to find tents that had been deluged by the rain the night before. They had a great event. Evening hall meeting was on the night of the 18th, and on that topic, I'm sure everybody's heard me say, so this Saturday finally is the 27th, is the annual evening barbecue dinner, so looking forward to that. On the 20th in Creemore, the summer solstice. Another great, fantastic event ran by the BIA and the Village Green and everybody else, so kudos to all the volunteers that made that happen. The weather cooperated once again. And then exciting today, most of the council members attended a groundbreaking for the old Sovereign Restaurant. So it sounds like Frank and Mario have things in place there, and hopefully in a couple of years we'll be either going into new stores or a new restaurant or renting a room, whatever. So sounds like great plans. Thank you.
I tell you what, I think it'd be great to have council have a dinner meeting down there at the new restaurant when it finally gets open. I think that'd be a good thing for the future council. Thank you. Paul, would you like to go next?
Thank you, Your
Thank you.
Worship.
Yes.
June 6th, as was mentioned, Trail Tunes, and another exciting event. The weather held off for the most part in the morning. There was a few challenges in the afternoon, but it was sure interesting to see the music, the different types of music, and the bikes were in abundance, I would like to say, and they were traveling around, so it was really neat to see. The Clearview Hall of Fame, of course, was on June 10th, and congratulations to all our new members of the Hall of Fame. Very deserving people, and we got to try out the ACC, Evening Community Hall, and it was pushed to the limits, but it performed well. We had a good time there. Last week, Tuesday, June 16th, I had the opportunity to be at the first reading club anniversary, well, I won't say anniversary, the TD Banks Reading Club for the summer, at the library in New Lowell. And I don't know if there was 20, 25 kids running around there at different stages, but very well received, great relationship our kids have with our library. And we will, Worship will talk about what he did the next day, but we will be having it again tomorrow at 4:30 now at the library in Stainer. So for those who show up, usually I think free hot hamburgers, chips, pop, and the fire truck was out there. I'm not sure, Scott, if the fire trucks are going to be there again tomorrow at Stainer Hall. They were in New Lowell, so they gave a chance. And Creemore, so we'll see them tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully the kids will love that stuff. So anyways, mentioned today, we were out the groundbreaking for the Sovereign, and the gentleman, the family, mostly from Vaughan, wonderful people, are also doing the other project on the main street, and had a really good chat with Mark about it, Marco. And you know, they're really excited about putting their presence in Creemore, as the mayor had a great speech about talking about what the uniqueness of Creemore is, and they're definitely putting their mark on there, and it's a nice little legacy. Tomorrow, the mayor and myself will also be spending most of the day at the county. We have a very long agenda. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll be at the library, or we'll try and get there. Wednesday, we're at planning. Thursday, we'll be starting our high school graduation presentations, and I'll be at the Lady of our Bay, and you'll be doing your couple. You'll explain that, I'm sure. Friday, we'll be at, as I mentioned earlier, I'll be at the NVCA, and at 12:30, we'll be at the opening of the new Stainer Denture Clinic. So, needless to say, we have a busy week this week, and there's lots of things going on and still coming forward yet. So, thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Yes, it has been busy, and as was said earlier, it's been 3 weeks. We've had a lot of things on the go. Councillor Deneen, how are you?
Good, thank
Good.
you. Your Worship, how are you?
I'm well.
Good to hear. June 4th to the 8th, I was at the FCM conference in Edmonton, and it was really interesting to hear from a wide collection of Canadian municipalities. But the one common theme was lack of funding for infrastructure. And that was just, it was just overall, it was all that. On June 10th, the mayor, myself, MPP Saunderson, and representatives from the Simcoe County District School Board had the privilege of being present for the announcement of the $4.7 million addition to the Nottawa Central Public School. That translates into capacity for 144 more students. And just a note that the school is currently running at 145% capacity now. So that is really great news for us here in Nottawa and Clearview Township. Today we were invited to the groundbreaking ceremony at the Sovereign. It's going to be a great asset to the village of Creemore. And not to trivialize the Hall of Fame nominees and awards, but I just wanted to send out kudos to Dale Lightheart. He wasn't there. We didn't know that the warden was going to present us with our curling award that night, gentlemen. And Dale should have been there. And I just wanted to make note of that. And where is the trophy?
To be honest, I'm not sure. Do you have it over there at the arena?
Through you, your worship, yes, the curling trophy is at the Stainer Arena, and it's going to be on display in the Hall of Fame for the next year.
Okay, so Dale, if you want to see the trophy, that's where it is. Thank you very much.
Okay, I've got to interject. Skip MacArthur, I think you need to call your team together to get a picture of the trophy together, okay? You get that, get a nice photo done with the four of you together. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Councillor Deneen. That was great. Councillor Beelan, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think you have a picture of us four together, but
With the trophy, you see. With the trophy.
it would be nice if the trophy was right here for a meeting, I would think. June 2nd, our contingent came home from the OPP Detachment Board Conference in Niagara Falls, and we made it home without a speeding ticket. June 6th, the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters had a zone meeting in Clearview Township at the Nordic Highlands Ski Resort. They are pretty good hosts there. There was a lot of good information, and look for some changes in deer management and deer hunting regulations this fall. June 10th, of course, at the Hall of Fame dinner, I'd like to commend Amanda and her crew for doing a wonderful job. June 13th, the New Lowell Legion held its 75th birthday party event. Thanks for letting me speak and for the lovely plaque. And here's the plaque. I got one similar to this. I left mine at home, so I borrowed one out of the mayor's office, and this it is here. It's not perfect. It's got a crack in it because the Legion's not perfect. So here you go, Doug. You can have it back. What else did I do? June 17th, Priority Council meeting, and also that day, the Station on the Green had its monthly meeting, and we're looking forward to seeing the new door being installed. June 20th, New Lowell was hopping. You could hardly find a spot to park in New Lowell. The New Lowell had its True North Barbecue Bash. It's part of the Kansas City Barbecue Society competition. The winner walked away with $10,000. I couldn't believe so many people take barbecuing so serious. Hats off to Craig Maidens and his crew for organizing this spectacular event. They raised lots of money that was donated to the Legion, the vendors, the vintage cars, and the live entertainment was fantastic. Thanks for having me as a judge, and I'm looking forward to it next year. And of course, this morning I was at the Sovereign groundbreaking. This is going to be really good for Creemore and good for Clearview. And that's all I have.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to have my plaque returned, and we'll get it reinstalled where it should be, proudly in the mayor's office. Thank you. Good job. Mr. Walker.
Took up a lot of my time, didn't you?
I did.
June the 4th, Music Market and Parket, and just want to say thank you to the Accessibility Committee, Deb, Andrew, Paul, and Joe, who we had a booth there, a community booth at the market with highlighting the Accessibility Committee. Then on the 6th, we're at Trail Tunes, and again, I thank Deb and Joe for being there with our booth as well. On the 9th was Accessibility Meeting. On the 10th, we had the Rec Culture Sports Hall of Fame. 17th, we had a priority council. And on the 22nd, which is tomorrow, we have the start of the summer reading program, as well as we have our library board meeting. It starts at 4, and I believe the reading program is 4:30. That's it, Your Worship. Thank you.
Looking forward to tomorrow, that's for sure. It'll be great. Thank you very much, Councillor Walker. Council, I have a few items. Many of you mentioned many of the items. I do want to go back to Councillor Deneen. The Nottawa School announcement was very, very, very significant. That investment in the Nottawa School, adding 144 more student spaces to the Nottawa School, will be very significant. I dare say that the Kiss and Go lane will be very busy when you drop off your children. And so I would encourage walking and or using the bus service in the future. I think we need to encourage that more and more all the time. The Batta Road does get really, really busy, and we're expected to simply be busier with more and more people coming to the school. That being said, the community is growing, and so it's no doubt that we needed to have this investment. Many years ago, we invited the students and the students and some of the staff from Duntroon School when it closed to come to Nottawa School, and that required a whole bunch of portables to be added. So that's why we're sitting at 145% occupancy there. And so this announcement was really significant. What a great add to our community. So I'm really happy to see that. A couple things I want to mention. Let's see here. The volunteers of the BIA did a terrific job in Creemore on Friday night. The solstice was just terrific. Council, members of the public, it was a really great, warm, nice event. The food was terrific. The conversations were great. The music was terrific. It was just great. I must say, as a commentary, I've got to know a lot of people across our community, and I would tell you this. I was pleasantly surprised to see that perhaps 2 of 5 people I would run into, I would know 2. And the other 3, I didn't. And that was interesting because it showed me that there's visitors coming. They're either new residents to our community or they're visitors that are coming to explore the event. And so I think the crew at BIA have done a great job putting this together. And I dare say for our Public Works Department, be ready for them to ask for a little bit more road opening or closing so that they can have a little more space to run this event because it was so full of people. So I look forward to seeing it continue to be successful. I want to acknowledge and thank the work of the Public Works Department and the Public Works Water Department for getting the sewer line connection for the washroom facility there. That was great to see that all cleaned up and ready to go for solstice. And I also want to acknowledge the volunteers from the Station on the Green for keeping the washroom open as well. When we have 1,500 to 2,000 people down there, we need those facilities open, and I'm very, very grateful that they were. I had not had any incidents reported to me about the facilities, so I hear that they're working well. So that's good news. Let's see. What else do I have here? I want to mention this past Saturday, I was an invited guest to go to the town of Blue Mountains area, right next to the town of Grey Highlands Township, to a little place called the Blue Ridge Sportsman Club. And the Blue Ridge Sportsman Club were celebrating their 50th anniversary. Very impressive to see a group of men and women who continue to keep the Blue Ridge Sportsman Club active during this time of difficulty in the sport of sport shooting, as well as the sports of clay shooting and so on. The shooting sports have certainly been in the news and talked about of recent. And I must tell you, this is a really good group. They have an excellent, excellent safety record. They have members of the Blue Ridge Sportsman Club over the 50 years that have gone on to be Olympians. And so I think that they're a really good example of people that are taking their shooting sport seriously, and they just have a great time. And it was really great to be there. I was joined by Mayor Paul McQueen. It was kind of nice to have the 2 mayors there. This is a funny story, just so you know. Paul and I have been together at many different events as mayors, and it seems that we always end up at an event where we're in someone else's town and we're representing other towns. So we were in town of Blue Mountains. There was no one there from town of Blue Mountains, but Grey Highlands was represented, and Clearview was represented, so it's kind of funny. Anyway, so Paul and I laugh about that every time we get together. Anyway, so that was that. Coming up, of course, you've heard about what we're doing all this week on Thursday. Regretfully, I will not be able to attend Music Market and Park It again. Sorry, it was canceled last week due to weather. This week, I hear the weather's going to be perfect, but I'll be at the CCI graduation representing Clearview Township for the Collingwood Collegiate Institute grads, and then I'll be following that with the Stainer Collegiate Institute graduation ceremony. So I'm hoping that the Music Market and Park It might still be going by the time I'm finished at Stainer Collegiate, and I'll come over and visit with some folks there and get a cold glass of water or something. That'd be great. I do want to mention that this weekend coming up, I've been invited to go to a very interesting event that I think the members of the public and your council is also invited to come and attend. Put it in your calendar. Come on down at 10 o'clock and join me at the cabin, the log cabin down in Creemore. They're having a little anniversary to acknowledge the years since the building was erected, and they're calling the event Pie for Breakfast. So they're going to serve pie for breakfast at 10 a.m. So there'll be pie and coffee available at 10 a.m. at the little cabin. Looking forward to that. As always, if you guys know me, I like to have a piece of apple pie. So there you go. Anyway, we're looking forward to a busy couple of weeks. It is a busy time for sure for all of us. There's many people want to go on vacation, but I tell you what I'm looking forward to is Canada Day. I understand John, the COA TV Club are jumping in again for Canada Day. Is that right? Thank you, sir, and thank you to those volunteers. Canada Day, of course, will be a big deal here in our community with a parade here in Stainer, and then activities around the Legion area, and as well fireworks put on through the firefighters in Creemore. So please come out and celebrate our nation's birthday. It's absolutely worth doing because it's a great community event to do. So thanks very much. That's about all I have to mention here tonight. Does anybody else have anything further? We'll move on in our agenda. Seeing nothing? All right, guys, let's move on. We're going to move to our department reports under number 10. The first one, Dan, I think this might be your report. This is amendments to the site alteration and movement of fill bylaw 2567, something that we just recently did, but we've got some amendments we want to propose. I believe Patty is here as well. She's worked on this as well, Dan. So let me read the resolution. I'll get a mover and seconder. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PW 013-2026, an amendment to the site alteration and movement of fill bylaw 25067 and guidelines dated June 22nd, 2026. Item 1, that Council adopt the amended guidelines manual for the site alteration and movement of fill as presented in Appendix B of this report. Item 2, the Council directs staff to amend the site alteration and movement of fill bylaw 2567 in accordance with the amendments outlined in Appendix A to this report and bring an amending bylaw to the July 13, 2026 meeting for final approval. All right, Mr. Beelan, would you like to move that? Thank you very much. Mr. Broderick, thank you very much for the seconder. All right, Dan and Patty Kennedy is here. Do you have anything you want to add to this? I'm glad to see you've reviewed it. Thank you.
Through your worship, not much to add to the report. It was done by Ms. Kennedy, as pointed out. Just a few minor clarifications, a minor clarification in the guideline, and a bit of a change in the actual bylaw itself. So if you have any questions, I'm sure I will not be able to answer them. Ms. Patty Kennedy will.
All right. Thank you, Dan. And Patty, please stand by. Members of council, do we have any questions for Ms. Kennedy? No questions? Thank you. Well done. It's a good report, and it very clearly outlines why these amendments are being proposed and how they're going to support a good management of site alteration and fill. Council, we have a mover and seconder, and there's no further questions. I will call the motion. All in favor? That's a unanimous decision. Yes, thank you. Just looking at you, Councillor Deneen. Thank you very much. Okay. Next item is item 10.2, Parks and Recreation. Let's see here. Amanda Murray is here, of course. This is the PCR 013-2026, additional scope of work for the Tourism Center roof project. The recommendation is, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PCR 013-2026 regarding some additional work, scope of work for the Township Center roof dated June 22nd, 2026. Item 1, that council approve the additional capital expenditure of $12,913 funded by the Administration Building Replacement Reserve for additional required work for the Tourism Center roof. Okay, mover and seconder. Mr. Walker? Thank you. Mr. MacArthur? Thank you. All right. Amanda, is there anything you'd like to add to this? I'm sure that this didn't just come out of nowhere, that you probably had a site visit with the contractor. Is that right, Amanda?
Thank you very much, Mayor Measures, and through you to the rest of council. Yes, we did have a site meeting with the contractor that the project was awarded to, and during that visit, we identified a few deficiencies, 3 in particular, that needed to be included in the scope of work. Otherwise, we would risk the further problems to either the building or to the roof. So items such as including the eave and gable trim, as well as a vapor barrier within the heated section, were excluded from the original tender document, so therefore were included. We also found out under further review that the current solar panels mounts were not properly installed, nor were they connected through a effective or efficient way, essentially just drilling a hole right through the roof and patching it. So the contractor is recommending a proper mounting system and a proper connection, and that's what that additional expense is. All in, like I had explained earlier during the public questioning period, this additional cost is just over $12,000, but it's still within the budgeted amount and less than the second lowest bid. Happy to answer any other questions.
All right, thank you very much. I'll go to Paul. You've got your card up. I'm looking for others. Go right ahead, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Amanda, quick question, and I can see where when the site inspection showed up some of the situation. The solar panel mounts, obviously they didn't install the tracking system properly, but are they using somebody who's qualified to do solar mounts? Because I can tell you, as president of Simcoe County Energy Cooperative, we got a major problem with roof leaks on roofs that were not installed properly. And so I just want to make sure whoever they get, they know what they're doing. And I'm not even sure who did our solar projects here, I mean, I know, I'm not sure if it's the same people did Station on the Green, we can figure it out or whatever, but I just want to make sure they're comfortable working on roofs, because they can ruin a brand new roof, simple terms.
Yes, through you, Mayor Measures, to the Deputy Mayor. Interestingly, the company that installed the original solar panels is no longer in business, so it has been extremely difficult to confirm whether their installation with the proper tracking and mounts was in fact according to the design drawings that were originally put into place. And this certainly was before my time and Mr. Scott Haw, who's our technologist. We have been assured by All Above Roofing that they have uninstalled and installed solar panels. This is certainly not the first project that they've tackled. So this was their recommendation upon the site visit, and I believe we have pretty good confidence in them being able to complete the project. They identified it as a deficiency, and they have a very good solution to making sure that it protects the roof and protects the assets that we have.
Sure, and what you said is what I expected. I'll reach out and say, if you need help with being directed to qualified people, let me know, or I'll direct them to it, because I don't want a new roof ruined, simple as that sort of thing. So, thank you.
I think that's good advice. To be frank, he has a lot of experience in this, so I think that's a good source for information if we need some. Thank you. Other questions to the report? No? Yes, Councillor Deneen.
Just because I'm doing the math and people might have questions, the budget excluding HST was $60,000. Those two amounts don't include HST as either. The 55, did that include the 55,932? Did that include HST?
No, all of these are excluding HST. So the original budgeted amount was $60,000. And then the new RFQ was 55,900 approximately, excluding HST, and the additional amount, 12,913, is excluding HST.
And my question would be the $9,000, where is it coming from?
Yeah. All of this is being funded through the Administration Reserve Fund, as the project was originally budgeted through that reserve fund.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kelly, do you have any comment about that fund? Are we okay with the fund? And by the way, before you do that, I do know that the reason we're putting it there is because our document storage facility is in that building, and that qualifies underneath the Administration Center responsibility, so.
You're 100% correct, Your Worship, and it is actually the Administration Building Replacement Reserve, and it covers any of the administrative buildings.
Thank you. Yes, Paul?
Thank you. Kelly, so all the revenues that's generated from that project comes to that same fund as well? It gets returned to that fund?
Through Your Worship, to the Deputy Mayor, I'm sorry, from the solar panels. Correct.
Okay, can I make a suggestion? If we haven't had have we had somebody who monitors or inspects our solar projects around our community? Do we have anybody to that effect?
Through Your Worship, to the Deputy Mayor, not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I monitor the revenue accounts, but I'm not good on the roof.
In our solar projects, all the ones I have, we have data loggers who monitor all the revenues, the solar production, everything. So I'd make a recommendation that we maybe, once we get this fixed, we get somebody in to check it and make sure we're making our solar projects as efficient as they can, and even as a regular basis, because it pays. If we lose solar production this time of the year, we'll lose so much money. So please, let's look at, and that's not just for here, it's for all our projects around the community.
As an aside, for our Councillor Deneen, a few years ago, the Nottawa panel, the control box out back, had a switch on it that you could just literally turn it off, and somebody turned it off. So now it's been deactivated. That switch is not available to the public to just go up and do. So that's been repaired. But just so you know, the Deputy Mayor is correct. I mean, if the thing's not working, we don't know until we don't get any revenue. So that's a good point about it being investigated. Thank you. All right, although it's not part of this motion, it's good conversation. Anybody else with any other questions? All right, seeing none, thank you, Amanda Murray. Council has the resolution, and I'm looking to see if the council is ready to vote. Yes, all those in favor, please. That's a unanimous one. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to go to the planning department. There's several in here, so I'm not sure who has the first one, but I suspect it might be one of our online. Is it Nick? Nick is joining us online, folks. He's on remote tonight. Nice to see you there, Mr. Ainley.
Hello, Your Worship.
Thank you. We have a draft plan of subdivision extension for Cityscape. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PB 024-2026, the draft plan of subdivision extension, and it is dated June 22nd, 2026. Item 1, that Council approve the extension of the Cityscape draft plan of subdivision being filed 2017-067 SD for an additional 5-year period, and that item 2, Council approve amendments to the existing draft plan, conditions as outlined in Appendix E to the report, and that notice be given in accordance with the Planning Act. Can I get a mover and seconder, please? Mr. Broderick. Deneen, thank you. All right, Nick, do you have anything you want to add before I go to questions? I think there might be a few on the table. Go ahead, Nick.
Thank you, Worship. Nothing in particular, maybe a bit of a brief background. My reports are definitely a bit more thorough in terms of the details. But as you indicated, this is the Cityscape draft plan of subdivision. So it's located in the kind of northern boundary of the Stainer-Selman area on the southwest corner of 2728 Side Road and Highway 26, so just east of the Stainer Union Cemetery. So it did receive draft plan approval originally in 2014 for a 5-year period. That was extended in 2019 for additional 5 years. At the same time, there was a red line revision. In 2024, there was another extension request for a 2-year period. At that time, we did bring the original draft plan conditions up to our new kind of template standard, with current draft plan approval lapsing on July 8th of this year. So basically, the applicant has submitted a request to extend it on in April for additional 5-year period. So that's currently where we are today. But if you have any further questions, more details, I'm happy to address them.
All right. I see the deputy mayor first and then Councillor Deneen. Anyone else? No? Okay, go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good evening, Nick. Nick, is this development holding up some of our capacity in terms of water and sewer?
Through your worship, thank you, Deputy Mayor. This one I wouldn't say is holding up any sort of capacity right now. So they do, as a part of the request, the applicant did cite kind of lack of water capacity as one of their challenges for having not proceeded at this point in time. This is located kind of on the northern extreme of Stayner, so it would be kind of one of the last ones to tie on unless they wanted to do more of the upfront work to bring services to them. So that's currently where they stand, but I wouldn't say that they would be a impediment currently to the water capacity.
So we haven't committed any capacity to them, or have we?
Through the mayor. No, not to my knowledge. Maybe defer that to Public Works, but not my understanding is that no, they do not currently have any capacity allocated to them at this point in time.
Okay. I just, it's interesting, you know, we've been talking so much about the 2-year use it or lose it. We talked about the DC charges, you know, holding reductions for 3 years and stuff, and the province is really trying to push some of these developments. And I, for one, I'd almost thought to myself, if they've got sewage allotments here, that we start taking them back and saying, we'll use them somewhere else and get things going from a provincial point of view. But if we don't have any sewage and water allocation and they're land banking a bit, well, we would hope that they come back on side pretty soon. So anyways, we'll see what happens.
Thank you. I'll just add a little commentary. They were invited in the initial rounds that were, gosh, many years ago about the future development of Stayner to participate in the program that then eventually brought us to developing the the new water system out of Klondike Park. And they did not participate with us at that time. So they didn't enter into any agreements with us at that time. So, yeah. Dan, did you have anything you want to add about the water capacity on that? There is no capacity there, right?
Through your worship, I just want to confirm that they have no capacity taken up right now.
Thank you. All right, Councillor Deneen.
I don't have to ask mine because mine was, do they have water allocation they're not using but holding on to?
I think we got that covered. Thank you very much. Are there other questions? Mr. Walker is next, I believe.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. As council and staff well know, I'm not a fan of 5-year extensions. Not when we started in 2014 and we keep moving forward. Is there a reasoning, Nick, why they feel they need 5 years instead of maybe a 3-year term? I mean, the last time we gave them 2. I know servicing and I know economy, but I mean, how long are we going to allow some of these developers to hang on to this land? When there's a housing shortage, and we could move it at some point if they would look at reducing footprints of homes. That's all.
Through the mayor to Councillor Walker. So as a part of the extension request letter that they did submit, so they did note that lack of servicing capacity as well as the downturn in market were some of the challenges they were facing, why they're requesting a 5-year extension. They also indicated that in 2024, we did bring up their existing draft plan additions to kind of new standards as well. So they said that it is requiring them additional time to complete additional works to bring them to meet kind of our new standards. And additionally, they did say that they are seeking to kind of proceed with their next formal submission. In 2027 is when they're targeting to kind of have the implementation move forward, is what their request letter had indicated, if that provides a little bit more context.
Councillor Walker?
Yeah, okay. I'll just leave it for now then. I'm still not happy with 5 years, but I guess we've got nothing tied up in a capacity, but this is just a program we've gone through this for years and years and years with some of these developments, and it's getting to a point where a lot of them could have moved at some point in time and have not, so.
I agree. I'd like to go to Rosalind. She has something she'd like to say, and then I'll come back to a comment in support of what you're saying. Go ahead, Ross.
Thank you, through the mayor. I just wanted to add to Nick's comments that they actually are looking to do in a very extensive red line and to change how this development is going to look. So in order to do that, they will be probably, reconfiguring significantly because of just how long this development has been around. It has taken them some time to sort of come to that. And I think what they did commit to was something in 2027 that would come back as a red line. So if that helps.
All right. Thank you for that additional information. Councillor Walker, I absolutely appreciate your input on this because I know that this is something that you've talked about over the years, and I think it's an important point. Given that the province of Ontario has been speaking about the whole idea of use it or lose it, but at this point, they don't have any sewer or water capacity secured yet. And as I shared, that they were invited to the initial meetings with all the developers that were in and around the Stayner community. They did attend, but then they did not participate in any of the water projects at that time. You might recall, and I know you and I have been here a while, under Mayor Ferguson, they were very much involved in our discussions about our sewer connection to Wasaga Beach. And, but they also didn't purchase any. So it's just go figure. So I hear you. So I'm disappointed too, but I'm encouraged to hear from our planning department that there's a possibility of a full red line redesign for 2027, which may reflect the realities of what the community is evolving into, and maybe that might, in the end, be the better step for our community to have that piece of land developed in a way that suits the rest of the community too, which speaks to some of those comments that I gave at the last public meeting about the project in Creemore, right? It's got to suit the community. So anyway, you have anything further you want to add? I'll give you the benefit, Mr. Walker.
No, I'm just going to say I hope then that their red line is a very extensive look at their overall project, and that they realize that, not necessarily big homes and big square footage is the direction they should be going in. I think that, and we've preached on this before, that developers need to start thinking of homes that are 1,500 to 2,000 square feet on one level, with not a whole lot of fancy internal works. Those homes would be able to be marketed to those that have less funds. But all the developers want to do is build big. So I'm encouraged that they're looking at a major red line revision, hopefully coming forward in 27. And I just hope that they do what they say and that they do come forward with something that's a real benefit to the township of Clearview in that location.
Well stated. Appreciate that. Councillor Deneen, do you have something else?
A question through you to Dan, please. If they wanted water allocation, when would that be tentatively available to them?
Your worship, to Councillor Deneen, it's difficult to say. We anticipate that our Klondike Park water projects to be complete in the fall of 2027. Prior to that, either council or the township are going to have to make some decisions on allocation of those available units. So they would have to either pre-purchase them or enter into some sort of an agreement to secure those allocation units.
Reason for my question, Dan, that's great, thank you. I guess this would be to maybe, through your worship, to Rosalind. Do we have the opportunity to shorten that down to 3 years?
Through the mayor to Councillor Deneen. So do you mean the request?
Yes.
Absolutely. You have, as a council, you can make an amendment to the recommendation. It's whatever council wishes to do.
Thank you.
We'll let that percolate for a moment. Other members who have any questions? Nothing further? All right. Members of council, thank you very much. Good discussion. I appreciate this report, and perhaps I will, on your behalf, extend an invitation to the developer to come and have a meeting and have a discussion about what they'd like to do and how it suits the community of Clearview. Perhaps, Mr. Walker, I'll invite you to join me on that date. Would that be okay? Thank you. Council, you have a recommendation in front of you with the mover and seconder. I am prepared to call the motion. Are there those in favor? And are there those opposed? Thank you, Mr. All right, so noted, the motion does carry. And we're going to move on to item 10.3.2, Township of Clearview Official Plan for 2024. This is the approval of a non-decision. Recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PB 025-2026. The Township of Clearview Official Plan 2024 approval of non-decision dated June 22nd, 2026 for information. Okay. Mr. Walker, would you like to move that? Thank you. Mr. Beelan, would you second it? Yes, yes, no? Yes, thank you very much. Council, Roz, would you like to speak to this? I know Derek has been working on this, but you're pinch hitting for him tonight, so let's get on base and see how we can do. Okay.
Thank you, through the worship. Yep, I actually authored the report, so pretty familiar with the information, yes. However, it's, I guess, more of a housekeeping. Of course, our official plan was adopted in 2024. However, there's been an outstanding county official plan called COPA 7 that would implement policies relating to growth and development. That was adopted at the county in June of 2026. And so as our official plan cannot vary from what the county states, we can now come in line with what the county has adopted for population and growth numbers to 2051. And this is just for information that our official plan will be coming into conformity as soon as the county can get a notice of no appeal out. And yeah, here for any other questions.
Of course, and thank you very much. Members of council, do you have any questions to this report? Nothing? All right. Thank you very much for the fine report. Members of council, you've got a mover and seconder. I am prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? Carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Moving to our next report in the Planning and Building Department, PB 026, zoning bylaw amendment for 5 Caddo Drive. Recommendation, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PB 026, 2026. Zoning bylaw amendment application for Walton, and it's dated June the 22nd, 2026. Item 1, that the zoning bylaw, generally consistent with the draft amendment found in Appendix F for the lands municipally known as 5 Caddo Drive, be presented to council for consideration and approval at the July 13, 2026 council meeting. All right, members of council, can I get a mover and seconder? Mr. Broderick, thank you. Councillor Deneen, are you the seconder? Okay, it's just thinking of your ward, so there you go. Are there any questions to our staff? Is that you, Rosalind? You've got that one? Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any items you want to bring forward, or?
Nope, just that we've worked very closely with the Nottawasaga Valley Conservation, so Davin Metherall and the owner and ourselves have worked to work on some sort of some wording in our bylaw and sort of limiting any development on the property until the MVCA are very happy with where the building footprint will go and where the septic system, well, and such will be located. So you'll notice that's been done through a hold symbol. So there are certain conditions that need to be lifted. Once those are lifted through the satisfaction of the conservation, then we'll be bringing back another bylaw to yourselves to be approved. Here for any other additional questions.
All right. Council, do you have any questions to Roz on this? No questions? Oh, hello, Councilor Deneen, sorry.
Not a question, just a comment that as long as the NVCA is okay with this, otherwise, yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Interesting, I drove by that site the other day because I just wanted to have a look at it, and I got thinking to myself, that's been a long time that there's been no house on that site, and it kind of looks like it should be.
That entire subdivision.
Yes, yes. It's just interesting, isn't it, that it's been such a long time, and I feel for the people that have had to try to deal with that one over the years. I'm glad to get that done. Go ahead.
We have quite a few of those in my ward. There's one up Osler,
Yes.
and there's one on Local Airport Road, as well as.
Yes.
Yeah.
Checkerboarding is
Most
notorious across our town.
And on 36, 37, and we
Yep.
fixed that already,
Yeah.
a lot of that.
Anyway, very glad to see that finally getting addressed, and look forward to seeing the final approvals from the NVCA. Members of council, if there's nothing further, we have a mover and seconder. I am prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? And that carries unanimous. Thank you very much. Going to move on. Page 7. Okay, this is the 10.3.4. Mr. MacArthur is going to leave the desk. That's fine. Thank you, sir, as he's declared a conflict. Council, I'll read the recommendation and we'll look for a mover and seconder. The recommendation is, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PB 027-2026, the zoning bylaw amendment application for Reinhardt Foods dated June 22nd, 2026. And item 1, that the proposed zoning bylaw be denied, as it does not conform to the township's official plan for the lands municipally known as 234 Poplar Street. I'd like to add that's in Stayner, not adjacent to Collingwood. That's Poplar Street as compared to Side Road. Council, I need a mover and seconder to put this on the floor. Mr. Broderick, I need a seconder. Are you seconding it? I need a seconder. Is there a seconder? Mr. Walker, thank you very much. Now I can take a question.
The question is, as a seconder, and you vote to put it on the floor, can you vote against the motion?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Okay,
Yes, you
good.
can. Yes, thank you. So, all right, council, let's give staff the opportunity to speak to this, and then we can have a good discussion. Danielle, hello, Danielle. There you are. I thought.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Danielle. Thank you for reviewing this and preparing this report. I know this report's a little hot one for us at this table. Why don't you do your best to tell us any items that are highlighted in your opinion?
Nothing specific. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I believe Dan and Patty are there as well to answer any of the public works questions.
Yes, that's correct. Dan is here, and so is Patty as well, too, by the way. All right, thank you very much. All right, members of council, I'm going to start with Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. We had a presentation by the staff of Reinhardt's our last meeting, and I thought they did a pretty good job. I understand the logic of declining this application from the point of view of paving the most of the truck area, but as a trucker, I appreciate what they're asking for, and I think we should support them in this regard. The other thing, they've done a lot of work in their putting their site-specific requirements on there, so I would like to see us help them somehow, somewhere, even though it does not conform to our bylaws.
All right. We'll move on then. Is there other questions or comments from the floor? Mr. Beelan, thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. I know you've got a list of people here that we've made them pave their lot, like low equipment, Equip Fix, et cetera. The only one that really trucks are the bottom two. I used to go by two trucking companies, Gibson's and Paul Quayle Trucking in Alliston. Some of the biggest companies around, they made exceptions for them because they know the pavement's just going to get torn up. Even with these trailers with the axles in the middle that turn, the pavement's just not going to last. They're going to have to repave it every year or two. It makes sense to put gravel down because you can grade it, and it doesn't wear the way pavement does. So there's a reason the trucking companies want this, because the pavement doesn't stand up. It may look pretty, but it just doesn't work. Even the recycled asphalt, you can't grade and stuff, and it will get ripped up too. So there's a reason. I think we'll make the highway safer at 26 as well. There'll be fewer trucks turning there, and they'll be using this lot. So it makes things safer, and it makes sense to me.
Okay. Are there other members of council with questions or comments? Councillor Deneen?
I don't know about pavement, but I'm not a fan of pavement. And it's just, I don't feel that turning this down is conducive to our economic growth here and our development, industrial development. And that's just going to be my comment.
Thank you. Well said. All right. If there's nothing further, I'll just give the opportunity to Mr. Walker. I just looked at, nothing to say? Okay, thank you. I'm just going to add some comments if I may. It is a trucking operation. To be honest, it's a truck storage operation. The boxes are being stored. Very few times are the boxes full of any weight, and yet the backing in and the parking of them, it absolutely will tear up asphalt. And it's interesting to note that, this operation, Reinhardt Foods, we have all toured this facility and visited it. If you've been in their backyard, it's not paved right at their factory. Like, it's not paved right at their factory, so why would we make them pave their storage yard? Like, I just don't understand that. Now, I will give the Reinhardt's crew some credit in the fact that they identified when they secured this site to address the difference between gravel and the roadway by paving the entranceway, creating a gate system. They actually have electrical power on the site. They've got, I guess, some security cameras monitoring the facility. I understand they even have a little bit of weather telemetry on the site so that they can keep track of it by remote. And so it's a well-monitored site, and given the opportunity for the ownership to sort of protect their investment in their vehicles and their trailers, I think it's operating well. I would say this, from our bylaw, part of this has to do with drainage, and I can appreciate drainage concerns, particularly in an industrial area. So I would suggest that if this council wishes to deny this ask from our staff by not supporting this, that we consider how we as a council can address the zoning bylaw and what is within our authorities to make some changes for this site specific, as well as down the road for this type of change too. I don't want to get it too complicated, but I do think that we have an opportunity here, as Councillor Deneen pointed out, to deal with economic viability for the community, as well as to continue to support, frankly, a major industry in our community of Clearview Township. So while I appreciate this report, and I know, Danielle, this was probably difficult for you, because I think you've heard some of our comments around here, and I appreciate all the staff that worked on this when they consider this. In fact, I also appreciate the fact that you also must give us the report based on the bylaws that are in front of you. These bylaws are, of course, passed by this council, and I would suggest to you that this is something that we need to amend in a future housekeeping amendment and or just a straight up amendment to this bylaw down the road. But at this time, I can't support this motion as it stands, and so we'll look to see where the penny drops on this one. But the issue to me is that we will have an opportunity right now at this council table to make some changes that will be supportive of the economic health of our community. Council, if there's nothing further, Council, I'm prepared to call this motion. Are there those in favor? All opposed? Okay. That's unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Council, this motion will be denied. Or this council will be, this motion is denied. Council, Mr. Deputy Mayor, do you have something you want to bring to the clerk, or the clerk has something for us? What you got there for me?
I've spoken to the clerk previously, and I believe she has something that will be suitable to the we'll say the community, to this council, and still recognize the concerns of our planning staff with certain exceptions. So I would ask that if the Madam Clerk would give her 2 cents worth, please.
All right.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, through worship to the rest of council. So if you're looking to direct staff to draft a zoning bylaw amendment for 234 Poplar Street, I would suggest that it be in conformance with those minimum site design criteria that staff has laid out in Appendix F to the staff report, and that a bylaw be brought forward at the July 13th meeting for approval.
All right. Council? Mr. Deputy Mayor, are you the mover of this? Are you the mover of this?
I can be. I think we have some other people who would like to get
Okay.
involved as well, so I'm
I'll
more than
consider
happy.
you the mover. Is there a seconder on the floor?
Sure.
Okay, we've got 2 hands up. Mr. Beelan, I'll take your second. Thank you very much. Anybody have any comments they want to add to this? You know, I know this is not unusual for us to do this, because the point is that we see the difference in this site versus other sites. We all understand the difference in what they're doing with this site. And I would suggest that whatever the bylaw comes forward is by the July 13th, that we ask staff to consider that an opportunity for occasional inspection of the site to ensure that drainage is in fact is working well on the site, I think would be appropriate. Given that it is a gravel site, we want to make sure that it doesn't get washed out and turned into a quagmire of a mess. And so it can be dealt with, you know, through enforcement or through work with the roads department. So I would hope that we could do that. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we could include not just inspecting for drainage, but also for dust, so they do some kind of dust control.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. You got something else too?
I just want to make a point that I don't know if anybody who's been up and down Highway 26 and also County Road 91, that the county has started using recycled asphalt for shouldering the roads.
Yes.
And which one of the big reasons for those who are truck drivers know going down the roads, the draft from the wind from the trucks will suck away the asphalt or the gravel from the sides of the road and move them, as does a snowplow. And trying to use recycled asphalt seems to be an opportunity to prevent, reduce the amount of maintenance we have on the side of the road. So I think that's pretty good. Last week they were hauling it out of Creemore and putting it on 91. So we've seen it on 26 the other day on the way to county. So anyways, just as Councillor Beelan said, dust control, crushed asphalt could be a good option still. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, have you recorded that? A little extra items there?
I believe planning staff have made note of that. I can read out the motion so that everybody is.
She wants to speak first. So Roz, we'll let Roz go ahead and speak.
Thank you through to the mayor and to rest of council. I appreciate those comments, and I will just make a point of letting you know that there will also be a site plan approval required for this as well. So while the dust control and the inspection of site for drainage are very important, they are typically not included in a zoning bylaw. But we would most definitely put them into the site plan agreement and ensure that those comments and those actions are included in that. So I just didn't want you to think that those types of items could be included in a zoning bylaw, because that's not the point of the bylaw, but very good information for the site plan. So.
Can I just ask a question then, Roz? Is it not, it seems rather unusual that a site plan control would be applied to a storage yard. Like,
It's a
site plan,
parking
like,
lot.
there's no public use of the site as in individual personal safety. There's no washrooms. There's no public use of it. It's entirely a private storage yard.
Yes.
But is a site plan control required on
It
a
is
private
for
storage yard?
Yeah, for exactly why you guys want dust control. You want us to go out and look at drainage. We want to have engineered drainage plans. So that's implemented through the site plan and the site plan agreement. Reinhardt's have already made an application and are prepared to go ahead with that. So that's not a question at this point. They've just been waiting to try to get some relief from the pavement.
Yeah. So you said an engineered drainage plan?
Yeah.
I didn't hear council ask for an engineered drainage plan, but you're suggesting that there should be an engineered drainage plan?
That is a given through any site plan application.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm asking. So, frankly, you're asking the property owner to spend yet again more money to have an engineer design it, and then yet again to have it peer reviewed by our engineering standards.
Well, actually, it's already in the site plan bylaw that was approved. So it's already a done deal. Like, in fairness, like, that is a condition already of site plan agreements, so.
Right, and that's why I ask, does a site plan need to be done for a storage yard that has no public facilities or human facilities? It's only for storage.
Yeah, and they've already made their application, so.
All right. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Your Worship. And Roz, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when they bought that property, there was a stormwater management already on that property, if I'm not mistaken.
No, there wasn't on that one. It's the Dobbington property
Dobinson.
Yeah, there was no work done on this property in terms of the actual engineering drainage plan.
Yeah, because there was some engineering. I know we talked about that when we met with them. My other comment or question, I think it's a great resolution because we've got 4 or 5 properties along there that look like absolute poop. But anyways, what we're talking about tonight could benefit other people along that site as well who want to do, we're talking about across the road with our best system, stuff like that where they may not want asphalt for various reasons. I think it's a good step to help stimulate that industrial corridor, we'll say. So, thank you.
And I'll just remind council that we are endeavoring to bring back a statutory public meeting for the comprehensive zoning bylaw. And we're hoping to do that, in the coming months because of, our environmental protection zoning and such. So anyway, that might be an opportunity for you to help us understand where you'd like to see maybe a change in the provisions for going forward.
Okay. I have a little thing here on my desk that came from a fortune cookie, and I'll just advise the planning department. It clearly says, be careful what you wish for. Members of council, is there anything further? Yes, Paul.
Sorry, Your Worship. Just a quick question to staff. Those properties along there, do any of them have water and sewer allocation?
Through you. So which properties did you mean?
I'm just saying along, for example, along Poplar Street. Or even you can say Industrial Road, or we could even say East Street or whatever it is there, yeah.
So the ones that were owned by the township, just to give you a bit of history, along Poplar, there were 4 properties, and they were all given an allocation for water. And each unit, I think each lot has 2 water allocations. And I believe there is sewage to those lots as well. Any other properties in around that area are actually in a moratorium because they do not have any allocated water. So.
Ooh. Well, kind of nice if we could use, if Reinhardt's aren't going to use those units, there's some opportunity. I'm starting to think too much. I don't. Be quiet.
It sounds like we're going to get the CAO involved in doing an agreement to secure those water units and put them somewhere else. Anyway, that's another discussion. Dan, did you want to speak to that?
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. Just to clarify, as part of the sale of those 4 properties, there was 10 equivalent water unit allocated to those 4 units. So they were to equally share those water units for that. And they are in place right now for those 4 property owners. and sewage units as well.
So both sewage and water, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. All right. Thank you, staff. I really appreciate your input, and I'm sure we'll have another conversation about other amendments, but this is a good one, and thank you very much. Council, is there anything else you'd like to add to the motion? Okay, and then we're going to ask the clerk to read the motion again, so that we have a full understanding. We've got movers and seconders. Let's hear it.
So moved by Deputy Mayor Van Staveren, seconded by Councillor Beelan. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby directs staff to draft a zoning bylaw amendment for 234 Poplar Street in conformance with the minimum site design criteria outlined in Appendix F to Staff Report PB 027-2026, and that the bylaw be brought forward at the July 13, 2026 Council meeting.
Anything further? Thank you, Council. I'll call the motion. Those in favor, please. That carries unanimous at this table. Thank you very much. All right. Perhaps, do you want to go see if Mr. MacArthur is available? Look at that. You're being a big help. Thank you very much. All right. Council, at this time, believe it or not, the clerk does not have any bylaws for us on our agenda, which is remarkable, because I know it's one of the things she likes to do the most. So at this time, then I'm going to go to item number 12, our notice of motion and new business. I'm not sure if there's anything that anybody wants to bring up. Dan has something? Yes, Dan has something. Excellent. Okay. Do you want to go help him with this? And yes. Do you want to do that? Yes. Okay. So I want you all to just take a moment and take a look at what Dan is going to put on the podium here. And then we're going to ask Emma to get a shot of it. And this is a very exciting moment, actually. I don't know if, Emma, you can get the camera on that properly. I know they're moving it around on you, but that's okay. That'll probably work. All right. So Dan, why don't you speak into that, or you can speak from your desk. And Emma, if you could get a picture of that that's on the podium, please. There's more coming, but you can zoom in and get it ready. This is a big reveal for folks here at home. This is not just a couple of gray boxes, okay? This is actually kind of interesting, and that's why we saved this till the end, and Dan's gonna tell us all about it. If it doesn't fall apart on him first. You know, Dan, you can think about your boys when they were playing Lego, right?
What about Dan when he was playing?
Yeah, I know. He probably played Lego too, didn't he? Who didn't? Exactly, yeah. Build a brick. Yes, okay. All right. So this is exciting. Okay, Dan, step out of the way. Emma, well done. Okay, Dan, tell us what we're looking at.
Good camera work. Your worship, members of council, this is something that our contractor, Maple Reinders, has graciously sent to us. It's a 3D model of our Klondike Park Wells pump site. Very detailed, and I'll be as delicate as I can because it's more fragile than I thought it was. But for members at home and council members, if you're looking along, but these two gray boxes, they'd be completely cement. These are the reservoirs. These retention walls are in place. They're not wings. This is not going to fly away, but eventually this will be covered fully in dirt. You will not see these. They'll be underground. These retaining walls will hold back the soil from the main part, which is the pump station, the pump house. And
Okay. All right, Emma, can you zoom in a little tighter? That's good. Look at this.
Show us the money.
Right on.
the first,
We bought some nice cameras here, folks, just so you know. Okay. Okay, Dan, go ahead.
yeah, so this just basically shows the internal structure of the building. This will be the main work area, the pumps, water pipes, the mechanical rooms, those types of things will be on the main floor. And then underground will be the underground interior, so your main water feed will come in.
Yeah, come around the front. Come around the front, Dan. There you go. That's better.
Your main water feed will come in here from the wells. They'll go through certain treatment chambers, and then go into the reservoirs. So a lot of these chambers here will basically just be plumbing underground. This is where when council does go on a tour, this is basically what you're going to see. The main doors here, some garage doors on either side. So I thought it was just nice. It's been sitting on our technologist desk, Scott's desk for a few weeks, and thought it'd be a good opportunity to show council and show the public that a vision of what this is going to look like. And as we stand, I believe as we stand today, the last update that I received was that they were starting to pour the floor of the main building. So that's where they're at basically now. They've essentially poured those walls that you see in gray, they've poured those areas, and they're starting to pour the floor here, and they're continuing to work on the reservoir area.
Mm-hmm. So Dan, once this is up and operational, the lower section that if you could go back to it there, the lower section will literally have water throughout all those chambers. Is that right? Like it'll have contactors in there, and it'll be pump systems that'll be moving water, and then it'll be stored in the reservoir. Is that correct?
No, Your Worship. So the blue will be piping.
Yeah, piping.
So it'll be all underground in pipes.
In pipe underground. Okay, now I understand.
Some of these areas will be filled. They won't be open as they are today. They'll be filled with dirt and capped off at the floor. But these certain areas, they will have all the necessary water main pipe and whatnot in order to get it into this upper floor and into the reservoirs.
Right.
So this will be.
And then the upper floor is where the pumps are that'll then send it down the pipeline.
That's correct.
Down Klondike Park Road to integrate into the systems here in the community of Stayner.
That is, you are correct.
Okay, that part I got right.
So
Not bad, guys, eh?
This
Pretty good, I tell you right now. Anyway.
I don't know if you could get that, Emma.
Let's have a look again, Emma.
Probably not, but it's on the other side. It's over here. Anyway, there's a blue pipe. The council can have a look at it, but this is the pipe that's going out to.
Okay, out to the community, goes from that side there? Yeah. That's great.
Comes in here, goes through the required treatments, and then out this.
It's fantastic. All right. Off the top of your head, how many gallons of water or liters per water is in those two tanks?
I believe each one.
Oops.
See how fragile it is? I broke it. Each one of these is 2,600 liters, 26,000 liters.
26,000 gallons maybe each or something?
Cubic
meters, sorry.
Cubic meters, it's about 1,000 cubic meters in a.
Engineering talk, you got to work in the same units. Okay, got it. Anyway, very impressive. Thank you to Maple Reinders for bringing in this 3D printed model of this building we're building. It is a significant project. The community is very aware that this is a, $50 to $60 million, $70 million project, and so this is really, really quite something for this community to have, and so we're glad that we have a partner like Maple Reinders that has provided this to us. So, Dan, keep us up to date. I appreciate that. And for members of council, and if you want to stop by Scott Hawes' desk, I'm sure he'd be happy to show it off because he was pretty proud to pull me aside and show it off as well. So that's it. Yeah. Oh, maybe he doesn't want it in his office. Patty Kennedy, maybe it's going to be in your office. That's it. Okay. No, I don't have any room in my office. No. No.
Facility treatment.
Yes, Mr. Walker.
Your Worship, I think maybe that we need to look at a display cabinet for the front, and that needs to go in the display cabinet.
Yeah, for now.
With some information as to what it's about.
Brilliant.
And for display till such time as we have the official opening. It needs to be displayed to show people what we're trying to accomplish and what we will accomplish once everything's in place and working.
All right, I tell you what, let's ask Mr. Ha if he can work with the CAO and Suzette to come up with a plan to put it on the table, because we've got a beautiful new table that we bought out here. So why don't we see if we can get it put on there temporarily? Yes, Phyllis.
I think we've got lots of lightly used plexiglass sitting around here from COVID that you could make a display case out of pretty nicely with a little bit of clear caulking. Be a good use for it.
That's funny. I'm gonna go to Marty and then to you, Paul.
Thank you, Your Worship. It could probably house our curling trophy, too.
Yeah, that's true, yes. We do that too. Okay, there you go. Paul?
I'll just throw it at Amanda. Did we still have any of the cabinets that we took out of the arena kicking around, or did we dispose of them all?
Okay, they're gone. Thank
Amanda.
you. Council, this has been a really nice little touch to have at the end of our meeting, and thank you very much, Dan, for bringing that forward. And again, thank you to Maple Riders for providing that to the township. It'll be well talked about between now and opening day. Can't wait. Fantastic. If there's nothing further, I'm going to move on to our confirmatory bylaw. Council, at this time, recommendation be it resolved bylaw 2642 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the June 22nd, 2026 council meeting be presented over the second and third time and finally passed on the 22nd day of June 2026. Mr. Broderick and Mr. Neen, thank you very much. All in favor? That carries. We're going to go to the motion to adjourn, 7:25. Sound good? 7:25 p.m. Moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Mr. Walker. Thank you. Motion to adjourn. We are adjourned, and I wish everyone a terrific week.